Hey, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is Friday, September 2nd, 2022. It's about 9:30 in the morning, so markets have just opened. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, so let's start with the SPX. I'm not sure why I'm on the Qs, but we will get that fixed. SPX. All right, here we go. SPX, we got rejected at the 200-day, which we all know about, and it's been basically a waterfall decline since. So we get a little bounce this morning on some kind of jobs report number, and still living below the 50-day moving average. Never a good sign when price lives below the 50-day moving average. So this is not good at all. Looking over here, price came into the 50-day and it looks like it's getting rejected pretty soundly on the RSP. Again, not a good look at all with price unable to retake the 50-day. I think that is again, a very negative sign. We'll see how it closes. Again, markets just opened, but everything is saying that down is the most likely scenario. Again, I could have probably put this like here or something like that, right? But yeah, so down looks like the most likely scenario at this point on the S&P RSP. On the Qs, again, same thing. Price didn't even get up to the 50-day, the weakest, very, very weak of the bunch. So there's that. QQQE. Again, we're seeing a lot of the same types of charts where price is now below. Again, 50 days rising, but with price below it, that's not going to keep going for a very long time. And you have that 200-day going lower. Again, not a nice look at all. Looking at IWM, right to the 50-day, got rejected this morning. So we'll see if the markets continue to sell off or not. We're 4 minutes into the session. But again, price below the 50-day, living below the 50-day, not a good look. Look at IWO. It's above the 50-day, but still looking like a waterfall decline. Now, if it closes in this area above the 50-day, it's in the green box, right? This is the point of area that I would expect, support resistance to be. And so that's a problem, right? That's a problem if it's in the green box. Above the green box, I think we're, above 234, it's better. But IWO, again, not the pillar of health on this market, especially after this big, gigantic move lower on heavy volume. And the mid caps will just finish off this, again, getting rejected at the 50-day as we would expect. All right, moving on to XLF. Big bounce today, but in the end, maybe this head and shoulders bottom is working out. We'll see, right? So this is our new point, 3250-ish or so. But as of right now, pressure is to the downside, still kind of undetermined, but at least it's not underneath the 50-day, right? We got that going for us. SMH, probably the most important one, way under the 50-day, has been living under the 50-day, underneath where I would expect if we were going to make this inverse head and shoulders here. And it's living underneath that. I think we can easily take this out now. That's probably not going to happen. This looks really bad. And if this is bad, tech stocks and technology and the economy is probably not doing all that great right now. Transports. Again, I guess kind of hell. So this is still a possible, but again, underneath the 50-day, don't like that, right? XHB. You know what? Same thing. It's still underneath the 50-day. We're seeing a lot of downward pressure on high volume. Very ugly looking. So right now, all of the charts on the subsectors that I consider important, looking pretty weak. Everything's looking really weak. Let's move on to the under the hood stuff, and I'm going to take away these items before we get there and move it to a line chart. All right, let's go. Looking at the VIX, VIX came into a 24, so we're still under the 27-ish area on a closing basis, but you see it's making higher highs and higher lows. So, there's that. So volatility is increasing. Again, we'll see if we see, again, this type of move right here, though, and even moves like this, these big moves, we want to avoid big moves like this. So we'll see if this, what happens going forward. But again, so VIX is okay, right? We'll call it okay on the VIX. Let's look at the bond yields or credit spreads. Again, maybe it's making, a lower high here. I don't know yet. But this type of move from here to here, it's a little concerning. So if credit spreads take out 1.58, that would be a problem, right? That would be a problem. But right now it's making a higher low, but also a lower high. So inconclusive. 1.58 gets taken out, big problems. Put call ratio, in between, no signal, right? We are looking for extremes. Nothing happened at this point. Percent stocks above the 50-day moving average. Breadth continues to deteriorate. We're at 40%. And so that's not a healthy range, right? We want to be 50 or better for a really healthy bullish range. Living under the 50-day line, not so good. So we'll see if it could hold in this range or if it could start to move higher. Time will tell. Time will tell for that. And then the last thing we'll look at is going to be Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin, and it's kind of flagging again, looking like it wants to make another low. If it makes another low here, I think the markets will continue to follow that. And I think this 14,000 is the range to watch. You know what? That is 30% to downside or so. So that could be a pretty nasty move for Bitcoin. It could also be a pretty nasty move for the indexes. I would say maybe a 20% move on the indexes, 30% Bitcoin, 20% on the indexes, something like that. So there is that. Okay. All weekend long, I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, which is why I'm doing this particular video a little bit early today. So lots of content will be coming out on Monday, and also, if you haven't caught me on Twitter at AlphaCharge365, I'm also a super follow there. Check it out if you're interested. I think there's tons of valuable content that I provide through that service as well. Hope you all have a great weekend, a great day. Good luck out there. No markets open on Monday. They reopen on Tuesday. Take care, everybody.